back to EMS One News Insider Analysis. Ed Bauter and Dan Schwester from the Overrun. Danny, we have another really, really sad story that is, it's our misfortune to report. Those of you who have followed the EMS space over the past couple days are aware of paramedic Graham Hoffman, who was stabbed while transporting a patient. So Graham Hoffman was a 29-year-old paramedic in Kansas City. He was also a firefighter. He was injured during a transport where a patient at around 1 o'clock in the morning, this was on Sunday the 27th, stabbed him in the heart. His partner had the wherewithal to stop the ambulance and jump out and try and render care. The police were able to subdue the patient. Unfortunately, Graham Hoffman was transported to the hospital. He was treated and he succumbed to his injuries and he died in the hospital. And this is a picture of Graham Hoffman. Danny, this is another story where we have someone who was killed in the line of duty, probably unnecessarily. The horror of this story is not to be understated, but it's hard to find causation here in something that is also sad and tragic.
Yeah. It's, where do you begin? We have a loss of a person who died basically trying to take care of his fellow man. Obviously the suspect is what it is. We're not going to get into that. This is somebody that was doing things to help people, to take care of people in Kansas City. And he died because of it. Right now, I think we all need to grieve, or that department definitely needs time to grieve. It needs time to come to grips with what has happened. Later on will come the analysis, and we're going to have to analyze these things. The fire department does it very well with their line of duty deaths. Police departments do it fairly well with theirs. I think EMS has to come to this where these people shouldn't die in vain. We should learn from them, and we should be able to use their experience to keep other people safe. And maybe that, maybe that's the only good thing we can take out of this whole horrible situation.
Yeah, and in any situation like this, you always want to try and see, what can we learn from it? I think that it's really important that we stray away from who did what could have been, done differently. The way that this case reads, it seems like a routine transport that went wrong. And there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking that can always be done in every situation. But in this particular setting, I think we need to take the time and recognize that paramedic Hoffman was doing his job. This is a situation where, it's really easy at 1 o'clock in the morning to get kind of lax when you're watching your patient. There's various different ways that you can try and keep yourself safe. No job is 100% safe. And this is one of those instances where, without knowing all the details, it's hard to look at what can be done differently. What can we learn from it, aside from trying to keep yourself safe, trying to keep your partner safe, and trying to keep the community safe. The good thing is that the patient was apprehended. There are charges pending. But beyond that, this is just a really, really sad and tragic thing that, I think we can sit and argue for hours over what can be done differently. How do we position the patients? How do we position the attendants in the back of the truck? How do we do all that? I don't know how much value there is to that right now.
No, I think hindsight is always 20/20, and there will always be people who would say, well, I would have done it this way, or this wouldn't have happened to me, because listen, we're all 1 second away from something bad happening, whether it's a motor vehicle crash, whether it's something happening in the back of the ambulance, whether it's just a slip and fall down a flight of stairs. I mean, the hazards are all around us, and we need to be aware of them, and we need to assess for them. And it's not just enough to say BSI scene safety. Scene safety is dynamic. It always changes. The scene that was
doesn't
safe
change. The back of the ambulance might be the scene you have to keep safe too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a thing. And I'm not saying that he didn't. For all intents and purposes, this could have just been that horrible Swiss cheese moment where everything went perfectly right up to that point, and then something catastrophic happened. It's a horrible thing. I know our thoughts and our feelings are with Kansas City right now and our colleagues out there, because this is a horrible thing to have to go through. And it's a horrible thing to have to go through for somebody who is just trying to help. It's terrible. Later on,
that's kind of the, go ahead.
Later on is the time for us to analyze, and I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to, spout up with all sorts of ideas about how this could have been prevented, and that's all well and good. But right now, I think we need to focus on the loss of a dedicated firefighter paramedic and that and how we can move forward from this. And individually, all of us have a responsibility to get home at the end of the shift. What would you do? How would you do it? How would you handle it differently? And hopefully I look forward to the results of the investigation. I hope they do a robust review, because my personal feeling is the best way to honor his memory is to learn from this so other people don't have this situation.
Right. Yeah. We can take the memory of Paramedic Hoffman and, make sure this doesn't happen again to anybody else. But everyone in Kansas City, our thoughts and our hearts go out to you guys. Let us know if we can be of any help, both the Overrun and the people here at EMS 1. Paramedic Hoffman, rest in power, sir. Thank you so much for your service. We've got it from here. And for EMS 1, Ed Bauter, Dan Schwester from the Overrun. We'll talk to you all next time.
Be careful, everybody.